Hey guys, so in this video I want to explain to you why I see the Catholic Church similarities to the United States military special forces. First, right off the bat, I want to say I was not special forces. I was just regular fleet Navy is what they call us, just a regular sailor in the Navy for 4 years, 85 to 89. And also the term special forces, I'm using that in my title because that's what most people are familiar with, but the term special forces is really only in regards to the Green Berets. The Green Berets of the Army are the only special forces. Now, there are other special operators. In fact, there's more elite groups, but they're called special operations for whatever reason. So, and amongst the special operators, there's two tiers, tier 1 and tier 2. And tier 1 is generally the more elite out of all the special operators, only because they go through more training and they have a much larger budget. So they get to do more things and use more weapons and just a lot more training, basically. So the Green Berets, basically, if you want to see what they do, a great movie would be 12 Strong, about a Green Beret unit in Afghanistan. But basically their job is to go in to a foreign land and embed, like live with people, in a different culture, different language, for a long time, and they help them out. These guys are like literally really smart guys. You got to be really smart to be a Green Beret. They do surgeries, they pull teeth, they do root canals. I mean, whatever these villagers need in these countries, they're engineers. They'll get they'll give them a water system if they need it, put up electricity, whatever they need. They come to help. They come to help these people, gain their trust, but they're also trained killers, and they teach these men how to fight. And then they'll go into battle, maybe 12. It's hard to get 12 guys like that can go through all that training, be that smart and that physically fit. So a lot of times, they go in with, less than a full unit, maybe 10 guys, and they'll go in with hundreds of Afghanistan people or Iraqis, and they'll go into battle with them. So these guys do know how to fight, but their primary mission is more like ambassadors, to gain the trust of other nations and to train, more like teachers. And they're considered tier 2, but the Army does have tier 1. When I was a kid, like 9 or 10, I remember my friend's uncle used to tell us about Vietnam, and he couldn't go. He was drafted, but for some reason, some medical issue, they didn't allow him in. But he said his best friend went into the Army and became a LRP. And as a kid, I thought that was a funny name, LRP, but it stands for Long Range Reconnaissance Patrol. And these guys are tier 1. These guys, you really can't find much about them. You don't hear much about them. Highly secretive. Basically, you have to be an Army Ranger. It's part of the Ranger 75th Regiment, if I'm not mistaken. You got to be a Ranger. Then you got to go, you got to try out and make it. And most of the guys don't make it, but the few that do make it go through a grueling, year and a half of training. And we don't even know what they do. But they're tier 1, so they're getting a lot of money for training. And these guys, by their name, Long Range Reconnaissance, I guess they do reconnaissance, so they go deep into enemy, beyond enemy lines, and get information, for the Army. Okay, this is what the enemy's doing. This is how many troops they got. So very dangerous. I'm sure it's a very dangerous mission. And then you have another tier 1 in the Army. Everybody knows them as the Delta Force. The Army still says they don't exist, but like Benjamin Franklin said, for 3 people to keep a secret, 2 got to be dead, especially with the internet. They'll go by the name of Special Missions Unit or the unit. But these are like the elites of the elites. I mean, they take special operators from every branch. They have Green Berets, Army Rangers, Navy SEALs. You got to be a special operator to even try out for this group. And like 90% of the people that try out don't make it. And then out of that 10% that make it, 90% fail the training because it's so hard. So these guys are the best of the best, another tier 1 group. Then you have the Navy SEALs. Okay, and so Delta Force. So Delta Force has a specific mission. They'll go in, like if you've seen Black Hawk Down, these were the guys that went in and kidnapped that terrorist leader, and they had the Rangers giving them cover. And then when the helicopter pilot went down, it was a Delta Force guy that gave his life with that man. It's a really sad yet inspiring scene in the movie. These guys are one thing. Their missions are all different. They overlap a lot, but they all have specific missions. But one thing that all these guys have in common, they're super patriots that are willing to die for their country. So the scene, if you're not familiar with it, the helicopter pilot's down, and like hundreds of Somalis are coming to kill him. And there's another helicopter hovering above trying to rescue him, and there's no way he could land because there's just so many Somalis coming to kill this pilot. And there's a Delta Force guy in a helicopter, and he says, "I'm going down." And the guy's like, "You're crazy, you're gonna die." He's like, "I'm not gonna let one of our guys die alone. I'm not gonna leave one of our guys behind." And this man went, and this is true. He rappelled down, and he gave the man, I think he gave him a handgun. I don't remember, I haven't seen the movie in a while, but Black Hawk Down, check it out. And he had his machine guns, and they sat and they fought to the bitter end until there were no bullets left, and then they were just both beaten and stabbed to death. But he wouldn't. He took an oath not to leave any man behind, and he didn't. That's the Delta Force. Tough dudes. Then you got, the Navy SEALs, and then you have the regular Navy SEALs are Tier 2. But they do have Tier 1 SEALs. That's SEAL Team 6. These are the guys that took out bin Laden. But I believe, but even the regular SEALs go through the toughest. Physically, that's the toughest training, in the military. Then SEAL Team 6 only takes SEALs that have been SEALs for like 10 years. So you're getting a man who's went through the toughest military training, and now with, since 2001, if they've been in 10 years, they've seen a lot of battles. They've seen a lot of combat. With all that experience, like 90% of them can't make SEAL Team 6. So SEAL Team 6, another Tier 1 Special Operations Group. And like I said, the toughest of the tough. And I think it was a regular SEAL. It wasn't even it was a Tier 2. He wasn't even in long enough to try out for the SEAL Team 6. Michael Mansour in Iraq. Another man who gave his life. Another super patriot. Michael Mansour, read about him. A hand grenade went on the roof where him and some other SEALs were, along with some other Iraqi soldiers. And Michael Mansour, I think he was about 23, 24. Dove on the hand grenade, saving the lives of his fellow SEALs and Iraqi soldiers he was fighting with. Gave his life. There's no greater love than a man can give his life for a friend. No greater love than that. These guys are super patriots that love our country. There's no doubt. But their mission primarily is to kill. These guys are the assassins. They're the ninjas. They sneak up on you and they slit your throat, and they kill the bad guys. We need men like that that are willing to kill the bad guys. There's a lot of bad guys in the world that want to kill your children and mine. So, but they're sea, air, and land, so they can do anything, that these other guys do, but their primary function is from the sea, And then you have the Marine Raiders, Tier 2, and the Marine Recon. They do reconnaissance. And these guys are all highly trained at what they do. You don't want to mess with any of these guys. But they all have specific missions that they do. And they're trained, you want to pump somebody up. You ever seen Rocky, when he's fighting Apollo Creed, he's like, "You're a killing machine, you're a wrecking ball, nobody can stop you." You want to pump your guys up. So, the Navy SEALs think they're the best. The Marine Raiders think they're the best. Green Berets think they're the best. But there's one group that has more kills than all these guys combined that no one ever talks about. There's a special forces and they're all Tier 1, and they got more kills than all these guys. And they can tell you that everybody has different strengths, and they learn from all of them. These guys are the special forces of the Air Force. Combat controllers, TAC-P, PJs, pararescue jumpers, PJs, special recon, and all these guys are Tier 1, and they go through more training than any other special operators, and they have a bigger budget than any other special operators. And they're responsible for more kills, because what these guys do is they call down the bombs, and a Navy sniper might get 1,500 kills in his career. These guys, with one radio call, will drop and kill 10,000 terrorists. But these guys will never say they're the best, because when they go out, they go with the Navy SEALs. They go with the Delta Force guys. They go with the Green Berets. They might go with the Rangers. And they may be with a SEAL unit. And like I said, a lot of the stuff they do overlaps. And they'll say, hey, we were with Delta last week and they did it this way. And the SEAL will be like, wow, okay. And they learn from each other. These guys know that they're all on the same team and that everybody has a different mission. And they get to see everybody's mission. They get to see how awesome everybody else is. They're just not in their own little bubble. And the way I relate that to the Catholic Church is St. Paul said we're the body of Christ. And we all have different functions. God's given us all different gifts, all different personalities, and uses us for all different missions. And he's calling us to be like the special forces and be willing to die for our cause, to jump on the hand grenade to save brothers. And we have a history, we have a long history of martyrs throughout the church that we can be proud of, that died for Jesus and died for our church. And, like St. Paul said, we all need each other. The hand can't say to the foot, I'm more important than you, because, I can grab some food and put it in my mouth and eat. The foot will say, yeah, try to walk without me, or the eye can't say to the mouth, I'm more important than you because I can see what's going on. The mouth will be like, okay, try and eat without me. So St. Paul says, recognize we're a body with different parts and different functions. And I'm always reminded of that when I make a video. Funny enough, like whenever I make a video that's positive, like yesterday I made a video, it was a positive video about Bishop Barron. And I got a lot of people saying, well, he should do this, he should do that. And maybe he should. I don't know. I don't know what God's telling this man. I don't know this guy personally. I'm just going by what I'm seeing. And I think what he did recently, calling out the Democrats on their extreme abortion position, was good for the church and good for our country. And, and if you notice, I've been on this YouTube channel for a few years now, and I've never criticized anybody in our church. Now, I criticize Protestants all the time, and they get mad. I just did a couple videos on John MacArthur, because they're always coming after us, Like Trump, he gets, he don't attack you until you attack him. So these anti-Catholics that are always attacking us, I'm going to point out, what's up with them. And, I've been an evangelical for 30 years. I've only been back to the Catholic Church for 5 or 6 now. So I know a lot more about the evangelicals. So, that's my special mission, to bring evangelicals back to the church. Now, we got some great special operators that I have not even nearly as much training. I'm not even going to try and do what they do. I mean, Church Militant comes example. Michael Voris was a producer, a television producer for like CBS and Fox. He won several Emmy Awards. So, of course, God is going to use him in the media, and he put together such an awesome team that they can get all the facts, they get all the information before anybody else, and they can point out if someone in their church is doing some funny business. I don't have that ability. I don't have that gift. I don't have that calling. So I'm not going to start calling out fellow Catholics, and I could be wrong. If they come out and say something heretical, I'll call them out. Like if Bishop Barron were to say abortion is not a sin, I would blow him up all over YouTube. But I've never seen him say anything heretical. Some things maybe we disagree, that he might be the way he presents it is not the best way to present it. But he has a different gift than me. He's an evangelist, And like I said yesterday in my video, we're salesmen for Christ. A salesman wants to make friends. A salesman, I always tell people, if you're going to sell something, you need 2 things. You need your customer to like you and trust you. His customer is the world. His customer is people that don't like the church. That's what evangelist does. You reach out to them. But then you have different people in the church, like I said, Church Militant. They're called to call those in the church in the check. You know, when they see something fishy, you know, he has the expertise. He has the resources to do all that. So he can do it in a professional way. But we're all on the same team. We're all on the same team. Bishop Barron and Michael Voris are on the same team as me and Timothy Gordon. We're all on the same team. We all got different missions, you know. You know me, I'm not my thing is I'm a regular guy. I work every day. I'm in the field. I'm getting shot at. I'm shooting back. I'm in the fight, you know. I never went to the military academy, so to speak, you know, seminary, you know, to get a theological degree. But I can tell you what works, you know, from apologists like Scott Hahn and Peter Kreeft. I can tell you some of their techniques that work because I've used them. So I'll share them with you on YouTube, you know. That's my thing. But you may not even be called to go on YouTube. You may be not the kind of guy. You may sing like an angel, and God wants you to use your gift in the church to lead people in worship. You may have a gift of celibacy. You can become a priest. You can sacrifice for people. You need to be a priest. God's calling you to be a priest, you know. Or you could be a deacon who's willing to give a part of his life to the church while he still maintains a family life. There's so many different gifts. So whatever your gift is, use it for the glory of God. And just know God calls us for different reasons. And if you expect me to criticize someone in our church, you'll probably be disappointed. But if you want to hear about some Protestants, I actually got a big name Protestant I'm going to be talking about in maybe next weekend. I got to get all my facts straight. But anyway, my point being is we're all on the same team. And God's calling us to fight the good fight against the enemy, not against each other. So God bless and stay Catholic.